Hello everyone, my name is Rez, and today we're going over the Brewmaster Changes for patch 7.2.5. First off, we have Chi Wave's healing. It's been increased by 73%, tier 15 talent here. The buff to this ability still doesn't make it better than Chi Burst for AoE or Eye of the Tiger for single target, but it was a needed buff because the ability was not great. And the first Brewmaster specific change here is our passive armor has been increased to 25% from 15 and is now visible in your spellbook as Brewmaster's Balance. This is a huge buff for us because it makes us a lot more durable and comparable to other tanks. Like bears have a base armor increase when they're in bear form. Demon Hunters have Demonic Tattoo passive, makes them more durable. And this is a huge buff for us, and it makes it so if Iron Skin Brew does fall off, or if we're just caught in a situation where we can't purify and are taking a lot of damage, it's going to make us a lot more durable and easily survivable. Next change here, Blackout Strike is no longer affected by haste. It's a 3-second cooldown no matter what your haste is. This might change your rotation around a little bit. It didn't really change mine that much. But if it does change your rotation, you can work through it pretty quick. It's not that big of a deal. Next thing here, Dragonfire Brew now increases the Breath of Fire duration by 100%. This is our gold artifact trait here, Dragonfire Brew. This is really good because even if you don't have a legendary chest piece, you can have Breath of Fire, Hot Blooded up all the time, which is a big DPS and survivability increase. And speaking of Hot Blooded, it's been nerfed from 2% per level to 1% per level. It's still good, especially since it can be up all the time no matter what. So it's just basically passive reduced damage taken and passive damage done. Overall, it doesn't really change the whole combo with Breath of Fire that much. It'll always be up, you'll always be getting that damage reduction and doing that damage. The biggest change on this list is Iron Skin Brew can now only be extended to 3 times its base duration, which is 24 seconds. So I'm just going to get to 24. It caps at 24 seconds. This makes us more of an active tank and more comparable to other tanks like Bears always trying to keep up Iron Fur, Demon Hunters always trying to keep up Demon Spikes, make us more active, and we have to keep working to keep Iron Skin Brew up, and balancing Iron Skin Brew and Purify is a lot better. Because before this patch, you could easily get up to 7, 8, 9, or even 10 minutes during a fight or an encounter, and then just ignore Iron Skin Brew and just Purify for the rest of the fight. It's technically a nerf to the ability, right? But I don't consider it a nerf. I consider it just a balancing change to make us more in tune with other tanking classes. Next change here, Elusive Dance now increases Purify percent by 20, was 15. It's a buff to our tier 100 talent Elusive Dance, however I still don't think that is better than Blackout Combo or High Tolerance. Next change here, Fortifying Brew now increases Stagger by 10%, down from 20. It's a nerf to our major defensive Fortifying Brew. It's still an excellent defensive. We're still going to be extremely durable, and we are not going to die while we have Fortifying Brew up. Next change here, High Tolerance now grants more haste per level. I haven't noticed this change that much, and I usually always run High Tolerance. But you'll just get more haste per level of Stagger, which is good. Next change here is for tier 90. Nizal the Black Ox has been increased by 50% damage. It's still not as good as the other 2 options for DPS, Special Delivery or Rushing Jade Wind. However, in solo content, it'll be a lot more stronger if you need that extra body for you. Next change here, Iron Skin Brew has been nerfed, increases Stagger by 35%, down from 40. It's a nerf to our mitigation, but because of the buff to Brewmaster's Balance, our base armor increase, it's generally the same. I haven't noticed it that much. Maybe my stagger's been down a little bit more, but overall it's not that big of a deal because we do have that Brewmaster's Balance buff now. Next change here is a huge buff to our Mastery. Huge buff to our Mastery. It's now triggered by Blackout Strike and Breath of Fire. Every person you hit with Blackout Strike or Breath of Fire will give you a stack of your Mastery Elusive Brawler. You'll be getting those stacks a lot faster. You'll just be dodging more. It's a huge survivability increase, and makes us just a lot stronger. Makes the Mastery a lot better. Next change here, Purifying now only clears 40%, down from 50. So you might have to purify more to get that damage down. Overall, it's not a huge deal though. Next change here, Rushing Jade wins duration has been increased. It's been the duration has been like increased by 50% for Brewmasters, right? So it'll always be up, no matter what, because it's a 5-second cooldown. It's up for 8 seconds, so it'll always be up. It's just passive damage around you. So yeah, 100% uptime on it. What I'm thinking here for DPS is if you're running Black Ox Brew, which you should be doing, run Special Delivery, because more Black Ox Brew, more brews, more Special Delivery. However, if you're not running Black Ox Brew, run Rushing Jade Wind. And speaking of Special Delivery, the proc chance has been increased to 100%, but the damage has been reduced by 70. So these kegs will be popping up a lot more, but doing less damage per hit. Overall, this is a DPS increase from last patch, where it had a 30% chance to come, but it did a lot more damage. It's obviously less damage per hit, but it's coming up more often. Next change here is staggered damage can no longer go above 1000% of your max HP. This is not a problem because I've never noticed my stagger getting anywhere close to that. The highest I've ever seen my stagger percent get was 500% on Mythic Spellblade when I was solo soaking Annihilate with 2 stacks. Next change here, staggering around. It's a trait change. It used to be a buff to our Fortifying Brew, and now it just makes so that Purifying clears more. It goes along with this change that Purifying now clears 40% down from 50. It just kind of brings that up a little bit. Overall, it's not really a huge deal. Next, we're going to be going over the legendaries for Brewmaster in 725. The first new one we have here is Storm Stout's Last Gasp. Keg Smash gains 1 additional charge and deals 25% increased damage. This is a really fun legendary to use. I got mine last night. You're doing a lot more damage because you're throwing out Keg Smashes a lot more, and especially paired up with the chest piece here. Whenever you Keg Smash, resets the cooldown of Breath of Fire. You can Breath of Fire, Keg Smash, Breath of Fire, Keg Smash, Breath of Fire again. You're doing a lot more damage. Spamming out these Keg Smashes are reducing your cooldowns on Brew. They'll be up more often. The only thing that I've had a problem with these legendary shoulders is if you don't have Black Ox Brew, or if Black Ox Brew is on cooldown, you're going to be energy starved. You're going to be sitting at low energy, just waiting for it to come back up to do another Keg Smash or another Tiger Palm or something like that. That's the only problem I've had with these shoulders so far. Just a DPS shoulder, DPS legendary. Next legendary we have here is Soul of the Grandmaster. It's crit haste mastery with a socket, and you gain a talent called Mystic Vitality. That's your tier 75 talent here. Staggers 40% more effective against magical attacks. This ring isn't that strong because if you're given this talent by just by passive from the legendary, you're basically forced to take Healing Elixir because Dampen Harm isn't that great. It's going to make you a lot more durable because whenever you dip below 35% health, you'll pop a Healing Elixir, go back up 15%, and you'll have that baseline magic durability there. This legendary isn't that good compared to other ones. Like, I would not take this if you have Pride as the wrists help, or definitely the Archimon Trinket here. It's not that strong of a legendary ring for Brewmasters because that talent is not great and the choices on that tier aren't fantastic. Overall, with all these changes, I'm really happy with most of these. The nerfs that we've received were needed, and the buffs that we got were also needed. The biggest change, again, is that Iron Skin Brew can now only be for 24 seconds, and I'm actually really happy with this change. It's more active. We have to keep working to get Iron Skin Brew up, and it's not just like halfway through a fight you just sit there and mindlessly purify. So yeah, that's the Brewmaster changes for patch 7.2.5. Overall, I'm really happy with all the changes, and Brewmaster is going to be an extremely strong tank going into Tomb of Sargeras, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all for watching. See you later.